Hi everyone! Kumusta kayong lahat? I am so excited to talk to all of you. Ayan, napakarami nating early birds. We have Kurisu IC, hello po. Sian Mercado, Palanga ICP, as always. Thank you so much for being here. Spitfire is also here. Maraming salamat po. So yan, welcome to IC Stories Manila kung saan pinag-uusapan natin ang updates tungkol sa Internet Computer Protocol or ICP, market updates, and basically everything crypto. So again, I'm your host, Modern Mulan. Good evening po everyone. Let us know in the live chat kung alive and kicking kayo or comment section if you're watching this sa replay natin. Where are you watching from? Are you from Manila, Davao, Cebu, or like me na nasa Pampanga ba kayo? Pero rest assured, don't worry po. Kung nasaan man kayo ngayon, ma-enjoy nyo ang second episode natin of IC Stories. So napaka-exciting din, no? I-hype ko kayo ng very light lang dahil ang premyo natin for today's episode ay two winners ng 100,000 tokens of Ghost. So kung hindi kayo familiar kung ano ba tong Ghost na to or kung familiar kayo dahil nag-trending ito, no? Ang Ghost token po, siya yung token na nag 19,000 plus percent in 1 week. So kung ako sa inyo, stay tuned sa ating ano. Not only do we have exciting topics, exciting guests, pero ayan nga, meron pa tayong winner na pa-premyo, no? Very bongga talaga. So ayan, yung mga topics natin today, as I've said, very malaman din sila. Kaya wag na kayong magpahuli. Pag-uusapan natin ang Bitcoin ICP integration, kung ano ba yon at bakit ito game changer. And para din sa mga Minecraft players, Minecraft lovers natin dyan, you'll also enjoy this one. It's going to be a special treat for you dahil pag-uusapan natin ang project na posibleng tumapat sa Minecraft. So this is Cubetopia. So yung mga special guests natin, silang explain or mag-share about these. We have our friends from Definity and Cubetopia, Andrew and Joey. So we'll call them on maya-maya. And para sa mga bagong viewers natin, please don't forget to subscribe sa ating YouTube channel, like this video, and you can share it to your family and friends as well. So, ayan. Um, Tulungan nyo rin ako na i-welcome ang ating speaker na si Sir Nelson. Kilala nyo na siya, Ape in Crypto po sa Metaverse natin. So yan, let's call him in. Nasaan na ba siya? Hi, Sir Nelson. How are you?
Hello, Modern Mulan. Nako, wag na Sir Nelson. Ape Crypto
Nelson
na
lang.
lang.
Ay, alright. Sige, Ape in Crypto. So, kumusta ka? It's been 2 weeks since our
Yeah.
last episode. What's been happening with you? And just share kung ano bang mga na-miss out namin.
Yeah, thank you, Modern Mulan. To those nga sa mga viewers natin na hindi pa nag-follow na ICP Manila, hope you can follow ICP Manila ngayon actually kasi marami
Mhm.
tayong kumbaga pakulo, marami tayong contest and marami tayong activities actually on ground na
Mhm.
nangyayari and we're trying to be na maging visible tayo on all the
Mhm.
activities here in the Philippines para ma-promote natin yung internet computer protocol. Again, thank you very much Modern Mulan that you are with us actually and more to come. So I just
Yes, for sure.
yeah, I just want to anyway, gusto ko rin pala i-highlight nga pala yung contest natin na Ghost Token,
Mhm.
which is last week lang actually. Actually, almost 20,000% na siya, nag-increase. So,
Wow.
I think it really minted a lot of people na yumaman.
Mhm. Ang dami for sure, mean 20,000. Kahit nga 10 times masaya na ako eh. What more kung na-raid ng mga tao yung 20,000 times, no? So
1,000%.
very
Already.
life-changing talaga.
Yeah. That's very
Mhm.
life-changing. And
Mhm.
mukhang hindi pa siya titigil actually.
Mhm.
Very aggressive pa rin yung team to really promote it. Kumbaga ang claim to fame nila is really sila yung first ever meme coin ng
Mhm.
internet computer protocol. And alam mo
Mhm.
naman, Yung doon
Iba yung
nag-start
follow
eh.
din kasi ng meme coins eh, yeah.
Doon nag-start, yeah, yung ecosystem
Mhm,
to be recognized. Nag-start with the meme coin, and then basically bringing in the liquidity. Dumarating yung mga bagong tao
mhm.
sa ecosystem, and basically it ano eh, nakakatulong siya sa
Lumalaki yung
growth.
community.
Yeah,
Exactly,
community.
yes.
So I'm
Mhm,
very supportive do sa ginagawa nila.
mhm,
And I'm also very engaged with them because nung maliit pa lang sila, ICP Manila did a collaboration with them.
mhm,
And yeah, it went well. So may mga nanalo na NFTs, mga I think 5 winners. So we gave out that NFTs. And those
mhm.
NFTs na nag-release si ICP Link ng token na Ghost, uh, binigyan nila ng one NFT is equals to 500,000 token. And
Wow,
that
very
500,
galante 'no,
oo
oo.
nga, that 500,000 token really grew. So right now
Mhm.
they're targeting na one Ghost is equal to one ICP. Malay mo, we'll see.
Wow,
We'll
why
never,
not, 'di ba?
yeah,
Naku kung pumantay 'yan, palong-palo talaga yung mga winners natin for today. Cause again, 100,000 per person at dalawa yung winners natin. Gano'n sila
yep,
kagalante, gano'n kagalante ang ICP. So ayan, make sure to follow them on all their socials para hindi niyo nami-miss out or nakakauna kayo sa mga ganitong klase ng announcements 'no. So,
yep,
Ape Crypto, we have a lot of malaman na topics for today. And I know it's
yeah.
hard to pick, but what are you personally most excited about na i-cover natin?
I'm excited on both
Mhm.
because
Ang hirap
one,
pumili, 'di ba?
ang hirap pumili eh. Yeah. Yung
Mhm.
Bitcoin ICP integration, I think talagang ano siya eh, magiging game changer siya eh. Think of it,
Mhm.
yung Bitcoin na liquidity going to ICP. Mangyayari
Mhm.
yon. It won't happen overnight, definitely. Kumbaga, Rome
Mhm.
wasn't built, ano, di ba, in one day, di ba? Kasabihan nga
Yeah.
nila. So, but it will happen. Basically,
Mhm. Ang question na lang
developers,
is when, 'di ba?
the question is when developers will
Mhm.
build, alam nila may integration na with the with Bitcoin, and later on Andrew will explain it further. Mas magaling siya to explain it further kaysa sa akin. Remember last week in question nga about the BTC ICP integration, sabi ko let's discuss it next week because I
Mhm.
want to bring in
The
key people.
perfect person to
Yeah,
discuss it. Yeah, sila talaga yung may sipa, may expertise dito. So, aside doon 'no, aside sa BTC natin, nabanggit din natin yung Cubetopia. Now, what are you excited about this one?
okay. Here in the Philippines, every time I am joining mga events, on-ground activities na
Mhm.
Web3, it's always about gamify.
Mhm.
Imposible mawawala. Philippines is equals to gamify. So, ang discussion is Axie Infinity. Actually, na-check mo na yung mga documentary. Axie
Mhm.
Infinity is always related to the Philippines. So, mamaya,
Yeah.
most likely may questions tayo about Axie Infinity also and how it compares to Cubetopia.
Mhm.
And mga Filipinos talaga, mga Pinoy, di ba, mahilig tayo sa games eh. So,
Mhm. Parte
uh,
na ng dugo ng Pilipino na alam mo yon minsan kahit mga simpleng bagay lang na nasa bahay, paglilinis, mga work ano, laging hinahaluan ng gaming, 'di ba? Kasi mas madaling maintindihan and very entertaining, 'di ba? So 'yan, sabi
yes.
ni Franz Radi, sa true lang, oh, 'di ba? Nag-a-agree. Pinoy na Pinoy 'tong si Franz.
And remember, yung play to earn, ang daming kumita last year. Last year lang, let's not
Yeah.
forget. Parang ang
Mhm.
tagal na. Last year lang, iniwan nila yung trabaho nila to really
Mhm.
focus on Axie Infinity.
Mhm.
So there's an opportunity for Cubetopia,
Mhm.
kumbaga to dominate, kumbaga to be, yung presence nila to be here in the Philippines. And later on,
Mhm.
Joey, our guest, thank you, salamat sa for gracing us on this
Mhm.
show, will explain it further kung ano nga ba yung Cubetopia. Para
Mhm.
at least yung mga viewers natin and future viewers natin will really understand the potential. Isipin mo Minecraft, competitor kay Minecraft. So later on,
Ang big deal nun, oo nga. Nung ang nakwento ko 'to sa kapatid ko, he was so excited kasi lagi siya naglalaro talaga ng Minecraft. So imagine, something you love and then integrate it to something na napakalaki ng potential, crypto and lalo na nagka-transition tayo ngayon to Web3, 'di ba?
yeah.
So, sobrang laki talaga ng room for growth for both projects or for both updates na pag-uusapan natin today. So ayan, Ape and Crypto, and to our viewers, again, whether you're watching this live or replay, if you guys are ready and will allow us, let's call in our first guest na para marami rin kayong mga questions na pwedeng isend in and more time for us to kwento. No, all right. So, um, help me welcome ang ating first guest. Mag-switch na tayo. English na guys ha. Medyo ready ka na ba, Sir Ape and Crypto?
Oo ba,
Ayan,
dumugo
ready na
ilong ko.
sila. Oo nga, naku, yung mag-English na talaga, hindi ako nakapag-practice, hindi ako nakapag-stretching. But yeah, he is a really, really fun guy to talk to, and I know you guys will also feel his passion, the way we felt his passion backstage when we
Yeah,
were talking to
very,
him.
very passionate. Very passionate.
Mm-hmm. So let's call him in. Andrew, hi. Thank you so much for gracing our episode for today. How are you?
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm doing good, thank you. How are you guys?
Can you we're good as well. Again, super excited to have you here. We know you're so busy, so we appreciate you, taking the time and visiting us here.
Andrew, where are you right now?
I'm in Zurich. We have a few offices at Definity, and now I dropped into the studio because this is usually empty unless we're recording something.
Hopefully,
Hence the lights.
you'll have one in the Philippines.
That would be nice, yes.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great. Maybe on the next time you're here, we'll be all together, like in one room and one studio here in the Philippines. That'd be great.
That would be fun for sure. Yeah. Like the
Mhm.
couch sessions where you have these
Oh,
conversations with
yes,
microphones
for
and just sit
sure.
back and
Yeah,
we could
agree,
do one of
So
agree.
those.
professional, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that
Modern
somewhere in the
Mulan.
future.
We
Mhm.
we hope to visit also the Definity office in Switzerland.
Actually, if you do, you can
I'll
just
be there.
yeah, you
I
can just come
can
by. Yeah, just drop by.
I can fit in a suitcase, so definitely I'll be there. Even if you guys don't formally invite me, I'll be like, surprise, I'm here. So
Sounds good.
Andrew, tell us about yourself. What do you do in Definity? Share your journey, basically.
Yeah, let me walk back a little bit. First, I studied web development, and I was a web developer for a
Mhm.
few years. I did front end first, and then I went into back end, a little bit of both. And then after that, I realized that I would rather do something more heavy. So I studied machine learning and did data science.
Mhm.
Had my master's thesis in astrophysics, predicting
Oh
stars, like
wow.
categorizing stars and supernova.
Mhm.
Funny enough, supernova with using the
Yeah.
wavelength and some machine learning sprinkled on top. But then,
Mhm.
and after finished school, I worked as a data scientist at a few companies for a few years. And I heard about ICP from a friend of mine, and we had this little
Mhm.
group or a little WhatsApp chat where we just shared investments and usually shit posted about things. And one
Mhm.
day he mentioned ICP, and he said he would invest most of his savings into it. And I was like, yeah, another shitcoin. And I wasn't very interested at the first hearing because there are so many
Mhm.
different projects and so many different not so interesting tokens. But yeah, just to pay respect to the friend, I checked out the ICP and the Intercomputer. And after just reading a few hours, I was blown away and absolutely impressed by the technology as well as the potential and the upcoming features. So I basically took off and like spent weeks on trying to get as much information about as I can and try to research it as
Be
much
a
as I can.
sponge, yeah.
Because back
Absorb
then we
every.
didn't have this much info on IC. It was like last June, a month after the mainnet launch, and yeah, we
Mhm.
didn't have the wealth of the community neither the information. Anyway, so yeah, I got in. I think I spent the next half a year just trying to work with the community. I developed a little bit with Motoko, launched an
Mhm.
NFT project, and yeah, did all those kinds of things. And at the end, I applied for Definity as a developer relations engineer, and here I am now
Now
talking
you're
to you
here.
guys
Yeah.
from the other side. And yeah, and at Definity,
Andrew,
it's yeah.
was there a Motoko University that you attended to?
I don't think so. I was hosting a lot of workshops, but I don't think I was at the Motoko University. I think it might have been before my time, like half a month before, something like that.
Okay, okay, okay.
At least we know you're young. Your
Yeah,
age wasn't like.
I'm
I'm
No,
older
no,
than
I'm
2 years
just
old.
kidding. I'm just
Uh,
kidding. So tell us more about this BTC ICP integration. Uh, what is it and why is it going to be a game changer?
Yeah, let me preface my answer. I'm not a cryptographer nor a protocol engineer, so I don't
Mm-hmm.
know anything, but I start to understand some of it. And I think
Mm-hmm.
this is so far one of the most exciting features that is coming to the internet computer, because this will allow canister smart contracts to send, hold, and receive native bitcoins on the internet computer blockchain. So instead of getting like what happens on ETH and other blockchains is that you get a native bitcoin, and then you transfer it to a centralized party, and then that party gives you a wrapped Bitcoin, and then you can just transfer the wrapped Bitcoin around. But with this direct integration between the Bitcoin and the Internet Computer blockchain, the Internet Computer will be able to make native Bitcoin transactions. So why is that important? Because if you have the smart contract functionality of the IC and the speed, you will be able to use Bitcoin in different smart contracts without any wrapping, and that has not been possible anywhere else before. So it's just really, really exciting.
It is. And I've been getting like so many questions, or I've also been reading this on Twitter as well. But, for beginners, it could get um, easily like overwhelming and complicated. Like if you were to explain this to someone who's new in crypto, like just the very gist of this, how would you talk about this?
Right. Okay. So the way this works is you have these canisters that are smart contracts running on the internet computer, which are basically pieces of software that runs in a decentralized system, right?
Mhm.
And this, in order to make a Bitcoin transaction, you need a private key and a public key. The public key is
Mhm.
your address basically, but the private key you should never show to anyone. However, if it lives in a canister, then that is available for others to read. So we have to do some kind of trick so that no one can ever see your public or sorry, private key. And the way this works is a fancy name called threshold ECDSA. The
Mhm.
ECDSA is just the signature scheme that Bitcoin is using to sign transactions. Am I speaking Chinese? All right, just stay with me. Stay with me. And the
You
canister,
got
instead
this.
of holding the private key, it
Mhm.
shares this key among different replicas on the protocol level. So what this does is, instead of signing the transaction itself, you would have these shares. Like if you cut up this public key and then you put it in multiple places, and if, let's say, 3 out of the 5 copies agree, then they can sign a message, and then you can make transactions without doing the wrapping. I don't know if this
Such a
was
great
a
explanation. Yeah, it was great. It was
okay.
great. Perfect
I
for
think,
Awesome.
people like me.
yeah, Andrew. Here in the Philippines, we really have a lot of Bitcoin fans. Actually, everybody started in Bitcoin. When I started in Web3 and crypto, what I search on YouTube is not cryptocurrency; it's really Bitcoin. And especially the OG, the original crypto holders in the Philippines. In 2017, we have the Yield Guild games. The owners are entrepreneurs. The owners are really big holders of Bitcoin, and basically they don't have yet the idea of this potential. I do. We do right here, right now. That's why we're discussing it. But they're afraid actually with regards to security. There has been several instances of hacks. I think the most recent one is Harmony One protocol in terms of bridges. Can you tell us more on security as as there's how this integration will be different and secure?
Yep. Again, prefacing, I'm not a cryptographer. However, just on that point, we have an interview with Manu Drivers. We can see here. I interviewed him a few weeks ago, and there is this interview coming up next week or sometime around next week, and he'll explain everything in detail again. But to come back to your question about security, the most of these hacks happen because to hack the Bitcoin network is incredibly difficult or almost impossible. But to hack the centralized party that does the bridging, it's a lot simpler. And once you can hack the bridge, then you get access to the Bitcoin. And with the internet-computer integration, you don't have the bridge, or you don't need the bridge, because the internet-computer itself holds the key, the shares of the key, as I explained before. It's also interesting that there's no one place or no one computer that holds the key. The key is shared across many nodes. Like, data computer is composed of subnets, and subnets have nodes or node machines, and these machines together hold the key. So even if you get physical access to one of these machines, you won't have access to the key itself. So this is one of the points. And the other one is you will have this something called a CK BTC, or chain key Bitcoin, and it is functionally similar to wrapping. So you will have cheaper transaction fees and it's faster. But the main difference is that you don't have a central centralized exchange or company that holds the private key, but it is a canister smart contract that holds the key, and this is how you can exchange Bitcoin instead of
I agree with you, Andrew, 100%. Because this is the first time really I've heard we'll be developing the smart contract, the canisters will allow it to leverage on kumbaga, the largest cryptocurrency, which is the Bitcoin, basically enabling you DeFi and decentralized app use cases, utilizing this integration.
exactly, because if you're an OG Bitcoiner, the only thing you can do with your Bitcoin is either hold it or you send it to someone else, but not much.
Or you buy pizza
Or you buy
and regret. Yeah.
yes. We now know we
Regret
shouldn't
years
buy
later.
pizza. But
Yeah.
actually, if you buy today a pizza, the transaction fees might be more expensive than the pizza itself. So
Oh yeah, for
Agree.
sure.
so yeah,
It's
now it's a
also
bit
one of the
different.
things that you have to target. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think what's great about stressing the importance of security is that so many people are hesitant about crypto in general, because they hear about these scary stories about being hacked, or having your portfolio stolen, basically. So if we push for like this type of security, and then you know I think mass adoption would then follow. It would be easier for people to trust, to get into, to try crypto as well.
Yes, I agree. For example, Bitcoin, the internet computer hasn't been hacked, and it's been 14 months, and
Yeah.
it never stopped working, and the network never went down.
It's
But
impressive.
people now trust the security of Bitcoin because it's been 13 years or something like
Oh
that,
yeah.
and that we haven't seen many major hacks recently. And the more time passes, the more people trust the system. So I think the internet computer needs the same thing. Just let time pass, and we have a
Let
lot
it
of
grow,
security.
yeah.
Let it grow. We have a lot of
Agree.
security engineers who know what they're doing.
So right now it's in beta test, correct? So can you share with us like your timeline of the actual implementation of this?
Yeah, I have to be careful sharing timelines because whatever I say will not be true. Um, and I wouldn't necessarily call it beta. I know like, it is kind of a beta, but how it works now is it is on the intercomputer mainnet. Now we released all the documentation, and people can start developing using
This
the
one.
actual Bitcoin integration. Da-da-da-da. Yes, exactly. So you can use the API already. And the thing is, whatever you develop now, you can use the testnet Bitcoin. You can mint free Bitcoins on the testnet, and you can use
Oh,
that
okay.
and already write smart contracts. So it works exactly the same as the real Bitcoin. You have to mine the blocks. You have to wait for 100 confirmations before a transaction is confirmed, and all the rest of that. And you have to wait for 15 minutes sometime for the transaction to complete. However, once, let's say you develop something using this low-level API that is already out today, you shouldn't have to change much of anything once the mainnet launches. You just, when you deploy your canister, you would change the testnet to mainnet, and that should work as it worked with the Bitcoin testnet. So if you're interested in developing and using the Bitcoin integration, then you can go ahead and start today.
That's amazing. It's so accessible.
Yeah.
I like earlier you mentioned that there was not a wealth of information available. So I think AMAs such as this and the mediums that you guys are putting out are so important. Because otherwise we won't be updated in these types of news, right? So thank you. We appreciate you being here, speaking to us directly, and having just these types of resources available to us now.
I think it's very important, and because now our technology, it's proven itself. It's very good. It's ahead of the pack, so to speak. But we have to
Mhm.
be able to explain it to people, and we have to be able to explain it to developers why this is so exciting. And now you guys
Mhm.
understand already, but still, it's for all the others who are not on
Yeah.
board yet. Then we have to communicate well first how it works, because a lot of people just don't understand how the internet computer works, and that's my fault, or it's our fault, because we should be better at communicating and be, as
We're
a
getting
foundation,
there.
be
Yeah.
transparent. Yes, be
Yeah.
transparent on and doing podcasts like this, so we can speak to the
Mhm.
community.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that's where it starts too.
Yep. I agree.
Mhm.
And then, Andrew, I think basically you mentioned the point there that is really critical. And then me, as a community, ICP Manila has really been working together with other communities as well. And very critical is, yes, we do have this feature, we do have this technical capability right now. But the question is, how do we put the word out? Actually, that's what you mentioned. And
Mhm.
I think the question here is, I'm not sure if you would have an idea, basically, or you have a general idea on it. How does Definity plan to market or promote this feature? It's very critical that everyone would know, especially the OG Bitcoin holders, developers, and builders. And would you have an idea on the plan in the coming months or years, basically, so that builders from other chain can come in as well?
Yes, I'm not sure how much I can share, how much is public, but we do have a plan. We do have a plan, and there are a lot of things in work. So, for example, the things that I can definitely share is we have the interview coming up with Manu, who explains how the integration
Mhm.
works and why is it important. Also, we
I'll
have
be there. I'll be there.
awesome. Yeah, please watch it. It'll be on our YouTube channel. Make sure you have like notifications turned on.
Yeah.
And yes, we created a 2 Bitcoin integration tutorials. So if you follow those, you can just download one of our example dApps and you can start playing with it already. And then the Islam explains exactly how one of our engineers explains how to mine Bitcoin blocks on a test net, how to create transactions using the internet computers, canisters, and so on. And besides that, we want to get as many developers on board as possible, because before the community gets on board, you need to have developers creating cool stuff. Because once we have
Mhm.
taxes, one of the most interesting feature is being able to just buy ICP with Bitcoin, not having to go through a centralized exchange. So if you have already Bitcoin, you can just swap to ICP once the integration is implemented in DEXs. So that's very exciting. And
Again, a very good feature.
yes, for sure, for sure.
I agree.
Look for
Thank you, Andrew.
hackathons and things like that. Yeah.
Mhm. And I think I just want to highlight how important visibility is as well, because it's different when while mediums and videos are very helpful and highly appreciated, it's still um, having conversations with you directly, like for our audience, they get to ask you questions. Which we'll ask in a while. It's still a very it's a better experience, I would say, for everybody when.
Yes,
Um,
that's correct, Mother Mulan. And I think community on each country is really very important as well, because we have to build the trust and speak in the native language. Diba, in Tagalog natin, Filipino, we can,
Mhm.
diba? May explain natin
Yeah,
in our
we
language.
have to translate.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it appears you guys speak very good English. So I think most of what I say is will your community will understand, no problem.
Thank you.
Yes.
We practiced just for you. Like we spent, yeah, we
Yeah.
spent the whole week just, oh, I have to practice
We're
with this
still
man.
intimidated with
You shouldn't be. I mean, I'm not native, same as you are.
We're all struggling here, basically.
Exactly.
No, I'm
We,
kidding.
we
But
all have
it's
to learn
it's
English.
again, it's so nice that we get to talk about these and
Andrew, on a personal note, what's your nationality again? I
Hungarian.
haven't.
I'm
Oh,
Hungarian.
Hungarian.
Yeah.
oh,
Okay,
that's
okay.
cool. So we're very diverse here.
We're very
Um,
diverse.
Now, are you ready for questions from our viewers?
Shoot.
Awesome. So I think it's good to start with this one. This one is from Kent 042. What assurances beside being here can you share with us that this is a safe investment, i.e. audits, lock liquidity, etc.?
That is a very good question, actually. I
Yeah.
mean, we
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't give assurances, and this is what Manu talked about as well. Is it's one thing because defining the foundation, developing this Bitcoin integration, we had multiple audits, we reviewed our code, and now for the next couple of months, so we plan to release mainnet next few months ish. So maybe October, November, December. I don't want to say anything so very concrete. But these months, we are doing testing and more security audits and more optimization. But whoever uses the Bitcoin integration API in their smart contracts, in their canisters or dApps, they'll have to do the same. They will also have to do a lot of research and audits on their part, because no matter how secure our API is, if you have a bug in your canister, then it's also a security risk. So whenever you as an investor or an interested person looks at a dApp that uses Bitcoin integration, make sure that that team did their proper due diligence on using this integration well, so that it's secure. Because we can't make sure that every dApp that uses the integration is 100% secure.
That's a good point.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Kent, for sending that. And if you have more questions for Andrew, you can keep on sending them. The next one is from Kurisu_IC. Is a testnet integration API only available in Web3? Can it also run in Web2?
I mean, it runs in the Internet Computer, which is a Web3 platform. So, yes, it uses the Bitcoin testnet and it uses the Internet Computer mainnet. And Internet Computer is, as you guys I'm sure know, it's the first and only true Web3 platform, having it completely
Yes.
decentralized. Yeah.
Yeah,
Another one
agree,
from
Andrew.
Kent.
Wow.
Here's another
Thank
one
you, Ken.
from Kent. Yeah, very active. Thank you so much. Impermanent loss, risk of illiquidity, loss, or theft of funds are some common problems of staking. How stable and secure is your project system to avoid or minimize these risks?
I think this will have to do with specific decentralized exchanges running on the Internet Computer themselves. So you can
Yeah.
have one decentralized exchange that is illiquid, and one that is very liquid, and that also depends on the funding that they received or the backing and community pools that have been flowing into it. So this, I don't think, can be really answered by the foundation themselves, but it's very specific to each dApp or each exchange. I know it's not a satisfying answer, but you have to look at the dApp
That's
specifically
how
on
it
this
is.
one.
Yeah.
I,
But at
I
least we
agree.
recognize the question. Yeah.
I agree on that, Andrew. Yeah, it cannot be on the ecosystem only, but also on the decentralized app that is running on it.
And maybe it's a bit better once we release the SNS or any other DAO solution, then the DEX or the decentralized exchange itself will be in the hands of the users. So you'll have this tokenized app,
Yeah,
and then they govern the whole system. And I think that'll add a layer of security, because the users themselves wouldn't vote for rug pulls, right?
yeah. The SNS Modern Mulan will be one of our topic in our upcoming shows, because that is again a very critical highlight for our
It
ICP.
deserves its own episode.
Yeah,
Wait a few weeks and maybe I can be on that one as well.
Oh,
actually,
that'd be great.
Andrew.
we're basically just gonna find reasons to keep having you here because we love talking to you. Yeah, here's another one from Kurisu. What is the main innovation of ICP for Bitcoin integration, and why are other projects not able to do it?
That is a good
I
question.
think
And
it's better like why is ICP the most suitable one to do it?
so the magicians or cryptographers built something called the chain key cryptography.
The magicians.
And yeah, that is something that completely beyond my head. But a lot of the features of the
Mm.
intercomputer uses this chain key cryptography, and that allows, for example, having different subnets communicating with each other and using the internet identity. It is a way, and actually, by the way, the main building block of the Bitcoin integration is this threshold ECDSA that using chain key cryptography creates a share or creates a splice or shares different shares of the same private key, and you only need a certain threshold of these key parts or key shares in order to sign a message. And that works very well on the computer due to chain key cryptography. And I think something like this hasn't been developed on other chains. But this is also the chain key is the basis for the speed and low transactions that we can offer. I'm not sure if this answer was satisfactory. I hope it was.
It was, and I think it's also like a good summary of the competitive advantage. And again, answering our first question, like, why is this a game changer? So I think it was a satisfying answer.
And if you're interested, please read on chain key cryptography. It is really interesting. It's just hard to wrap your head around. But of course, it shouldn't be easy because it took many years for many people to develop.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think people should be nervous if it's that easy, right? So yeah, I think all of the articles that you mentioned and other information will update the description box so you guys can also do your own research after watching this video. And if you have more questions from Andy, you can keep sending them in, and I think we'll have you back again. But for now, thank you so much,
Hi,
Andrew, for
Awesome.
sharing your time and
hi, Mother
expertise.
Mulan.
Thanks a
Hi,
lot.
Mother Mulan and Andrew. I have one follow-up question actually.
Oh,
Yes,
This
go
is
ahead.
more of
please.
uh, a general outlook and your personal opinion. And actually, I'm going to be asking this on all our guests moving forward. Can you give us your personal opinion on how ICP ecosystem or landscape will look like in the next bull run, maybe in 2024, 2025,
Oh, that's a great
and how
one.
this type of how this type of features like the BTC ICP integration will basically help the ecosystem.
Yeah, maybe it's cliche to say, but I think we are in the very early stages of development of dApps on the IC ecosystem. So the community has been growing very healthy. Now we saw the first meme coin, as I heard you guys mention a couple of times, the ghost token, and so the community size has been growing rapidly, same as with the developers. I think it's both are on an exponential trajectory to see more and more developers. And what I mean to say is that these dApps that we have currently running are in the early stages. And if you look back at, let's say, if it's 2024, 2025, and look back at how District or Discover used to work, or ICP Swap, they will be miles from where they are now. And all this development, because creating these dApps takes years and not months. And we've only had 1 year. So the mass adoption can only come once these dApps really perform well and are not just competitors to other Web3 platforms and other blockchains, but also competitors to Web2 platforms like Facebook or Instagram. Because once it's as convenient to use an intercomputer version of Instagram as it is to use the real one, people will come here because we are not stealing your
I
data to
agree.
begin with, and we are so
Yeah. Basically, just uh, providing solutions to the current problems that we are seeing and
Yeah,
are experiencing right now. Yeah, and I think that's
that's a
what
great
really
answer.
that's what makes ICP stand out from the rest. So Andrew, again, thank you so much. We appreciate it, and we hope to have you back again
Thank you
because we
very much.
still have so many questions that we want to talk about. Maybe we can have someone else from Definity as well, so we can
welcome.
answer specifically to more questions. So
Awesome.
thank you very much. We
Thank
appreciate
you
it,
very much.
and see
Thanks
you
a lot
again
for the
soon.
invitation.
Thank
Thank
you,
you. Bye.
Andrew. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you,
Maraming
Andrew.
salamat.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Yes, maraming salamat. See you soon here in the Philippines, hopefully. Or we're gonna
Yes,
go there to you.
you're welcome to anytime.
Thank you, Andrew. Have a great night.
Cheers.
Ayan, maraming salamat po sa mga nag-send in ng questions for our first guest. Pero ang galing niya mag-explain 'no, kasi napakahirap nung mga
Yeah,
terminologies, very technical talaga siya. Pero he really tried his best and he did a great job in explaining it in a way na maintindihan talaga natin 'no. So sorry hindi po natin natanong lahat ng mga questions ninyo, lahat magaganda sila at malaman din. Pero,
Modern Mulan.
mhm.
Dumudugo na ba yung ilong natin?
Oo nga, yung English ko guys medyo paubos na. Pero hindi pa puwedeng maubos kasi meron pa tayong
Di pa
isang
tayo
guest.
pause.
Again,
Yeah.
another exciting topic 'no. So ayan, sa mga questions niyo po you can send them in kasi ayun nga, very open naman si Andrew to come back here and answer more. Siguro we can dedicate ano, kasi yung questions like yung mga tokenomics
Yeah,
and, yung
actually.
mga, basic ano niya, parang introduction of the project. Siguro we can dedicate talaga na dun yung mga ano
Agree.
natin. Mhm. So yan, early birds daw
Agree.
tayo. Tama yan. Nag-a-agree ako 'no, napakarami na nating innovation. I think if we compare a year ago to where we are now, it's a good organic growth, pero we still have such a long way to go. So congratulations and welcome sa mga bago po dito. We are so happy to have you here in this very early and exciting journey of ICP. Ayan, we are the OG, sabi
Parang
nga ni Josh
Ethereum.
P.
Parang Ethereum in
Mm.
2015.
Actually, oo nga. Na-miss ko yung Ethereum. So, nung nalaman ko
Actually, ako
ICP,
din.
sabi ko, hindi na pwede. Hindi na ako papayag na hindi ako
Yeah.
makasakay for this one. Kaya, yan. Again, congratulations sa mga early birds natin. So, ayan. Sabi ni Spitfire, same po. Di ba? Very nakaka-relate. Sabi ni France, believe in ICP and you'll see. Exactly. And I love na Andrew pointed out then na, and you then, Sir Apin Crypto, na hindi naman pwedeng madaliin yung mga ganito, no? It's definitely going to take time. It's going to be a difficult journey. Pero yung mga elements na yon, yung hard work na yon, yun yung magpapatibay ng foundation natin para maganda yung mabibuild natin in the next years. So, ayan. Wow, 2015. I was thinking 2017. No? Yeah, around 2015 nga ang Ethereum. Alright. So, ready na ba kayo for our second guest, everyone? Ayan, mag-ingay tayo sa ating comment section, sa ating live chat. Press 1 kung ready na kayo. Please help me welcome our second guest for tonight, Joey from Cubetopia. Hi, Joey. How are you?
Hey everyone, I'm doing good. How are you?
We're so happy to have you here. Again, we know how busy you are. I can just imagine how many AMAs you have scheduled for this week alone. So thank you so much for coming out and talking to us.
It's all right. It's my
Thank
pleasure
you,
to
Joey.
be here.
Now, can you share like just a little bit about yourself? Um, what are you doing in Cubetopia? How you started here and all that exciting jazz?
So, similar to Andrew, I started in Web 2. I was working
Mhm.
as a software engineer in a Web 2 company, and I kind of got sick of it. I wanted to move into Web 3 because I saw the opportunity to kind of build something from the ground up, which could be big. I felt like in Web 2, almost the ship had sailed. You know, we already had Facebook, we already had Minecraft, we already had YouTube, things like that. So for me, I saw Web 3 as the new chance to create something which could be used all over the world. So yeah, as to what I do in Cubetopia, I'm the founder and the chief technical officer, I suppose. I do most of the technical development of it as well.
Exciting stuff. Now, can you share with us like an overview of what Cubetopia is, like your goals, your mission, the idea that you have for this one?
Yeah, so basically, the first stage, what we're trying to achieve is we're trying to create a space completely hosted on the internet computer blockchain where you can kind of create your own little world, and then you can invite people into it, and you can sort of hang out and have like a social experience in this sort of place that's yours, that you've made, and that you have ownership of. And then the sort of second phase of the project, once we do that, is we kind of want to create like a bit of like an adventure experience where people go out, you fight things, you earn rewards, you defeat monsters, things like that. That's kind of like the overall goal of the project.
How did it start? So, were you playing one day and then suddenly this idea came to you, or what inspired this basically for you?
So there are a few things that inspired it. Obviously, like I mentioned, like I always kind of wanted like that fresh start of Web3. And I've been interested in games for like a very long time. I've been playing Minecraft, for a very long time now, since it came out, and basically I saw what I thought was a bit of a problem with other Web3 games, like in other ecosystems. I thought it was kind of crazy that a lot of the data for the NFTs and for the game is not actually on the blockchain. So my friend Andres, who is a developer for the project Finterest, he introduced me to ICP, and he showed me Discover. When I saw Discover, I was like, oh, okay, that's something very cool. That's something that we haven't seen on any other blockchain. And that's kind of when I realized, right, here's the place where I can create a game that is going to kind of be the first of its kind in the respect of like, okay, the data is actually going to be on chain. We can actually have this like fully decentralized compared to what's possible elsewhere. And then why is it kind of like Minecraft? Why is it like blocks and things like that? For me, I just thought like it's more fun to kind of like create like your own space. Like you can create your own like thing rather than like place down the stuff that I give you. It's like if you want to make something that I can't even imagine, you can go ahead and make it. I just thought it was a better tool.
I agree. I mean, aside from it being entertaining, it could also
Yeah.
be like a safe space for everyone and, just a creative outlet as
Yeah.
well.
I think Watermelon, what Joey mentioned is also a good point. So if we have viewers right now who is new with the internet computer ecosystem, I suggest for them to watch the first episode where really I elaborated, explained the power and capability of being 100% on chain and being able to really enjoy or benefit from the 100% decentralization versus the other platforms that are not actually.
Yeah, I think the first episode is perfect for that because we doubled down on, the
Yeah,
potential that they can expect or will be experiencing in ICP. And now here we
yeah.
have a great question from Cian. How is Cubetopia will differentiate itself from Minecraft aside from being in the Web3?
Yeah, so that's a really good question, because I think people see the game and they just think that we're like trying to be Minecraft, which isn't exactly true. We're going to be like completely different. Like the further into development we get, it'll be clear that the team has like a very different vision to
A strong
Minecraft.
vision,
So
yeah.
it's at the moment kind of in the simple stage. It's like, oh, okay, well, it seems very similar to Minecraft, but like when we add more features in the game, we're not trying to copy Minecraft of what makes it good. We're just using cubes, and I think it'll be clear that we have something quite different in mind.
So,
Good question.
yeah, it really is. I
And good
mean,
answer. Good answer as
usually
well.
we entertain the questions at the end, but when I saw it, I'm like, we have to ask
Mm.
this now. So that's a really good thing because we don't want like we already have Minecraft, so why would we do a copy paste version of it, right? So it's really nice to hear directly from you that you have a stronger vision for this and you're basically going to create your own identity and we'll see that in the coming years to come.
Yeah. Hi, Watermelon.
Yeah.
I just want to add as well. Uh, it's linked on the question earlier.
Mhm.
with regards to decentralization, because recently, Joey, we had this Minecraft fiasco.
Oh,
Basically,
yeah.
we're in,
Banning of the
yeah, they banned the
NFTs.
NFTs. Yeah, an
Mm.
NFT world. So, how do you see the future on this? How can Cubetopia can capitalize on this? I think this is an opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. I think that basically what that's shown is that you can't be reliant on these Web 2 services,
Mm.
which is kind of what a lot of other sort of Web 3 metaverse games are doing at the moment. Is maybe they're relying on these sort of centralized services. I mean, that's quite an extreme example where there were there were some big projects on Ethereum that were like building on top of Minecraft, and Minecraft as a platform was like integral to their project. And this is kind of shown that like you cannot bank on that. The
Yeah.
people who had these NFTs, who owned NFTs related to Minecraft, they've kind of had the value for that taken away. And I
Mm.
think this kind of shows like the problem that I was trying to solve when I started this project. When I found out about ICP, I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. Like we can have control of the game and of the data associated with it. Um, and this example is just a complete kind of vindication of like, oh well, there is actually value
Yeah.
for that, because I think a lot of people just thought like, oh, like nothing's ever going to happen. Like who cares? And it's like, well, maybe this is an important thing that we should be looking at.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of NFTs, how do you plan on integrating it in the world that you are building? So aside from, of course, the avatars, what other NFTs can we expect in the game?
So there's a few ways that NFTs are basically going to be integrated into the game. So the first way is like pretty much any NFT from ICP, you can place it in the
Mm-hmm.
game as like a painting for people to come and view. Um, and then on top of that, we have like kind of special integrations like we did with Versatile Studios, where if you
Mm-hmm.
own they have like these boots, NFTs of these boots, and if you own that, you connect your wallet to the game. Your character puts on those boots, and everyone can see it. Um, as for Cubetopia NFT specifically, obviously we'll be releasing islands. I think a lot of people know that.
Oh yeah, that'd
Uh,
be fun.
yeah, and then we're planning other things. There's a lot of cool things that we could do. I don't want to say too much, but you can definitely expect other NFTs from us as well as the islands.
And I think as the game grows, you can add more, you know what I mean? Like exciting things,
Yeah,
maybe eventually have NFTs for events or, some other things that you can
yep.
also incorporate. So we have a couple of questions, other good questions here. This one is from Spitfire. Most play-to-earn games have a lot of players at first, but towards the end, players always decrease, and then um the
Mm.
game also dies along with that. So how do you plan on preventing that and just keep building the community?
Yeah, so I think one of the reasons that that happens is because a lot of people playing these play-to-earn games are playing it purely for profit. So as
Mm,
soon as something's more profitable, they're going to go and play a different game.
mm,
So that can kind of be countered by making the game fun by itself, which has always been the priority. Is even play-to-earn
mm,
blockchain stuff aside, I just want to make a good game. Um, but then also like we're being very careful with our tokenomics. Like people are asking for details of our tokenomics. We haven't given them out yet because we're consulting with experts to make sure that there is going to be longevity there.
mm.
We want to make sure that we get that right before we do that. So of course we're going to take care of that. We're going to make the game fun, and then also there's going to be continually like new content added to the game. So
Mm.
there'll be a reason to come back to log into Cubetopia, even if you've not played it for a while. There might be a new update, some new stuff to come
Things to
on.
look
And
forward to. Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
That's
That's
really
that's a
great to
very
hear. I
good point,
mean,
Joey.
mhm.
Yeah, because yeah, Modern Mulan. I think what Joey mentioned is make the game fun first. I think is very critical. I think projects right now are really focusing on just on the play to earn
The earning aspect.
and
Yeah.
yeah, the earning aspect, and they just want basically to get to get their money. But
Mhm.
making the game fun is very critical, and that will basically be the difference in the long run.
Yeah, and whenever we're talking about play to earn games, this question always pops up like, if you're not able to earn from the game, will you still be playing it? And for most P2E, sadly, the answer is no. Like, honestly, majority of their players are just in it to earn. And I guess it's also that's not something that we should be condemning or we should be hating on, because it's just part of the growing pains, I think. And eventually we'll be able to transition into actually valuing a play to earn game. Like the earning is just going to be a bonus, but you're in it or you're more invested emotionally, so to speak. So that's a really good point of view. And
Yep.
it's so nice that you pointed it out. But we also can't deny that there are players who are there to play, but we won't be able to eliminate, and we don't want to eliminate players who are also there to earn. So what's in it for them? How about for those types of investors? What can they expect from Cubetopia?
So yeah, the game is, we definitely would like to make it so that people can make money by playing the game. So
Mm,
I'm aware, like you were saying earlier, play to earn is absolutely huge,
mm,
especially like kind of over in Asia and Southeast Asia. Like I'm
mm.
aware of how kind of popular that is, and I definitely do
Yeah.
want to kind of harness that and appeal to that market because it's enormous.
Mm,
But as well as that, like as well as like the monetary side of play to earn, I also think that you can kind of have like NFTs and like special
mm.
unique rewards that you earn as well. I don't think it always has to be like play to earn has to be about like money like all the time.
Yeah.
Like you can have this kind of reason to log on and play the game to earn something which might be valuable to you. Um, or maybe it's like a time limited thing. Things like that, I think, can kind of add
Mm.
value to it.
Agree, Joey.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I
I
can
thought
hear
I
you.
lost you.
Sorry,
But
no.
yeah,
No, no, no.
it's also a really good point. I think it's just going to be about finding the balance wherein you get to satisfy both of the different types of players and investors' needs. But that's the hook, right? Making a
Mhm.
game that is enjoyable. So whether they started
Yeah.
that they just wanted to earn, but when they start playing the game and they like it, they enjoy it, eventually it won't matter anyway, because the current games that we're playing, they don't really earn from them. Actually, it's the opposite. They spend money so
Mm.
that they
Yeah.
could have these advantages, and I think that will also eventually bleed through the games, the actually entertaining games that are going to be
Yep.
created or that are being created now.
Well, one thing
That's
I'll
correct.
actually add that I didn't mention
Mhm.
was I think of games like World of Warcraft as
Mhm.
play to earn games. Like these are like the
Mhm.
original ones that were around. They didn't have tokens or anything like that. They didn't have
Mhm.
Web3, so to speak. But because the game was so fun and people wanted to gain an advantage of it, um, you kind of play to earn was developed because maybe they
Mhm.
didn't have time to log in to level up their characters and things like that. And play to earn arised sort of like as a necessity because people wanted to play the game. And I think that
Mhm.
is like that's probably how you could make something last a long time, I would think.
Mhm.
Agree.
So that's yeah, I agree. Those are very strong points. And a year into play to earn games, well, they started long ago, like you said. We before the crypto integration, we also kind of saw that a little bit in other games. But it's been a year since the meteoric rise of play to earn games. And in that year, there has been, a huge change in mindset as well for players. Like it's not for majority, it's not just about the money anymore, but they're looking to invest in actual projects with a long-term vision, which we're seeing and we're hearing from you right now. But can you give us like specifics, like just a little sneak peek of what we can expect from Cubetopia within, this year and the next, the immediate years to come?
Mm. So yeah, I mean the first sort of milestone that we're working on actively is we're doing the island sale, and we're
Mhm.
getting all of the data associated with islands on chain. So we've deployed a few canisters on the IC already for that, and hopefully soon, as long as everything is all
Yeah,
ready, because we want to
soon.
make it a nice, smooth experience for
Mhm.
everybody. We'll be selling the islands. Then after that, I think is we'll be going further into sort of like more advanced like building tools and things like that, make the island experience a little bit better before we
Mhm.
kind of start to introduce things like combat, fighting, defeating enemies, things like that. So I definitely think within a year we should have like some sort of gameplay where you can go in and you can like fight and things like that.
I love that you
Yeah,
mentioned
like
that because
story mode.
someone asked here, like, what can players do in game aside from building? So it's nice that you mentioned there's fighting and other elements that you guys are
Yeah,
going to incorporate.
Mm. Yeah, I would say,
that's a
yeah,
good
I
point.
think, yeah, I think the gameplay is going to be unique. I mean, I haven't seen uh, a real Web3 game that's quite like
Mm-hmm.
this. I mean, obviously, people were using Minecraft, which is quite similar, but it's, yeah, not really a Web3 game, and definitely not anymore. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, there will be more to do in game besides kind of like the building and the social aspect. But
Mm-hmm.
that's, yeah, it's coming a little bit later down the line.
I think you're some kind of I think you have like a third eye or a magic eye because every sentence that you answer are good transitions for the next questions. Because now initially you mentioned like what games they could play, and then somebody literally just asked that. So the next one is the social aspect of it. So does the game have like an
Mm.
all chat feature? How's the socialization within the universe or the
Mm.
metaverse that you're creating?
Hmm. Yeah, so right now there's text chat for people who are like on the same island as you, and there will be voice chat as well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really thought about adding like a global all chat, but I think that could
Mm-hmm.
be quite funny. So maybe I will do that. We'll see how
That'd be
that
fun.
goes.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be a complete
Yeah,
mess, but yeah, maybe we
It's
should
going to
do
be
that.
chaotic. I
Mm,
bet it's going to be chaotic. Like everyone
mm,
from across the
yeah.
globe just talking in their own languages. But it's going to be fun. It's all in good fun.
yeah.
And um, uh, let's think of like the existing games now that are very popular. Like here in the Philippines, Mobile Legends is king. And one thing that pushed it to its popularity, I think, is the voice chat while they're playing, while they're trash talking,
Mm.
which is expected in games, right? So I think it would also be a huge element or like a good addition if you also have that in Cubetopia.
Yeah, because I think it creates sort of like a sense of community as well. If you're
Mm-hmm.
playing, even if you can't see someone and you're talking to someone who's like doing something totally else, it's better than just being by yourself, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I used to play World of Warcraft, and I used to love sort of trolling in the chat.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Mm. It adds like another layer of entertainment to it. So yeah, thank you
definitely.
so much for being so generous and answering all of our questions. And it's so exciting. We'll also have your links in the description box so that everyone who want to say hi to you or just know more about your game can be a part of your community. So again,
So
Joey,
we'll have
thank you
Joey come
so
back.
much.
Yeah,
Yes,
We'll
and
have
maybe we
Joey
can
come back
we can
definitely for
we
at
can
least.
actually play next time
that would
and
be good.
give them
We
like
can
the
hang out
demo,
in
right?
Cubetopia. Yeah, well,
Uh-huh.
actually,
Yeah,
I'm quite near to the Philippines right now, so maybe we have to get Andrew over and we can do one in real
That'd be
life.
fun. Yeah, that'd be really, really fun.
yes,
And we'll look forward
exactly.
to that. I will hunt you down, Joey, if that doesn't happen in a year. I'll be
Andrew
like,
says
remember?
sounds great, so it's
Yeah.
on. Get the flights booked, Andrew.
365 days, Joey. 1 year.
Yeah.
Okay, we can do it.
Countdown
We'll make
starts
it happen.
today. Yeah.
today.
So thank you so much, Joey. We really really appreciate it, and your answers are amazing. Thank you again, also to our viewers for sending so many great questions. We have so many more questions to ask you, but we'll leave those for part two, so that you have no choice but to come back on our show and talk more about Cubetopia.
All right. Thank you so much for having me, guys. Really appreciate
Thank
it.
you very much, Joey. Thank you. See you soon.
Thank you, Joey. Maraming salamat. Bye. Thank you. Thank
Maraming
you.
salamat.
Thank you. Ayan, grabe naubos na talaga yung English ko.
What do
Pero
you think, Mother
nakakatuwa
Mulan?
'no, kasi kasi napakarami nating questions sa kanila. Pero 'pag binabato natin, nafi-feel mo yung professionalism and alam talaga nila yung
Yep.
sinasabi nila 'no. So maraming maraming salamat. Pati yung mga tanong ninyo sobrang, alive and kicking din talaga.
Yeah. Salamat sa
Um
mga nanonood.
Ang dami pa ring mga tanong. So, i-reserve natin yan for our part 2 with them. We'll invite Andrew and Joey.
Yeah, I
Again,
think
here,
so.
dito sa Pilipinas na mismo. Hindi lang sa episode, pero sa Pilipinas mismo, no? So,
Yeah.
Ape and Crypto, if you had to pick, again, sobrang laman ng topics natin, no? But if you had to pick, siguro 2 to 3 na mga nabanggit natin na highlights, what would those be?
Well, for Cubetopia, definitely with regards Minecraft fiasco of
Mm.
again Web2 companies capable. Kumbaga, pwede nilang i-turn off yung switch kung ayaw na nila. Babalik tayo
Oo.
doon sa unang episode that namin na-mention ko nga
Mm.
doon sa capability ni Internet Computer Protocol. Why is it very important? Why is it
Mm.
critical? Why is it a game changer? Para ma-enjoy natin yung benefit ng 100% decentralization na everything is on-chain. So,
Mm.
marami pang hindi nakaka-realize nun for sure yung difference. Anyway, babalik na naman tayo sa episode 1. But there's really a big
Mm.
difference na why it can benefit NFTs and gamify in the future. And for
Yeah.
BTC-ICP integration naman kay Andrew is, again, that liquidity from Bitcoin. Of course, Bitcoin yung OG talaga. And once na
Mm.
ma-realize ng mga developers, mga builders, ng mga entrepreneurs na pwede gawin to sa ICP wherein halos gas-free na. And
Mm.
then they start building. Baka by that time, na-realize mo yung capability ng feature na yon, it might be too late because talaga nag-grow na ecosystem. Even yung price
Mm.
action ni ICP, financial advice.
Mm. Oo nga, and important yun, kailangan not financial advice. Pero yeah, lagi nating hina-highlight, no? Lagi nating hina-highlight kasi it's really there. Siguro, most used word ko na talaga sa mga episodes natin and for those to come is exciting. Because it really is exciting and I can't highlight that enough. Dahil yung potential for growth talaga, for ICP in general and even in these specific updates and projects na pag-uusapan natin is so massive. Ayan. So, we're doing our best. Siguro tayo din, no? Ayan. May assignment po. May assignment ang viewers natin because we want more people to know more about this. Kasi hindi lang naman para sa atin eh. So it's nice na tayo napaka-early natin. Pero it would also be parang more fun kung pati yung family natin, pati yung friends natin, kasama nating umangat, 'di ba? So please, if you have, family and friends, whether they're in crypto or not, share nyo sa kanila to. Talk about it. No? Gone are the
Ang
days na puro exactly. And gone are the days na puro chismis na pinag-uusapan. Hindi natin ikagugrow at ikayayaman kung pinag-uusapan natin yung kwento ng buhay ng kapitbahay natin, no? But if we're
correct.
talking about
That's
these
correct.
ideas, 'di ba? So imagine hearing yung kwento ng mga guests natin today. They started out, in a similar field but not really in crypto. And then, ano nangyari, especially kay Andrew, di ba? Kinwento lang ng kaibigan niya na, oh, check this out. And now, di ba, eto na yung career niya, eto na yung passion niya. Di ba? So I think that story could also be one of ours na may matutulungan tayo, may introduce tayo sa crypto, and that's already a win for everybody. So yan, maraming salamat sa mga questions ninyo again, and sana na-enjoy nyo tong episode na to. So, sa last episode natin, Ape and Crypto, ako yung pumili ng winners natin. So, do you want to pick yung dalawang winners for this episode? How are you gonna pick it? Ano
I
ba? Yung mga nag-send na questions, or do you want
Yeah,
na sa
I think Modern Mulan will pick on the top two questions.
Ayan. Sige,
Uh,
sige.
like
Mhm.
top two hindi ko alam. So I leave it to you kasi yung top two na questions.
Ang hirap pumili kasi yung mga sinend nila, I think, are
Ang hirap
deserving
nga
of,
pumili.
kung pwede lang na lahat, di ba, meron. Pero yeah, I think siguro
Oo.
by top, we'll talk about parang, or yung pipiliin natin, sila yung, that made for great conversations, for interesting na topics sa
Agree.
interview natin. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But before we announce, again, if you're not following, ICP Manila sa social media accounts nila, and me as well, Modern Mulan, what are you guys doing? Lahat po nakalink sa ating description box. Make sure na you are updated, be a part of our community. Ayan. So, if you also want to say hi, pwede rin po, magparamdam kayo doon, paggalawin niyo yung baso. Even after this video, if you're watching live, please do comment kung anong parang
Yeah.
takeaway nyo for this episode, or what else do you want to hear, kung sinong gusto nyo i-guest natin, no? So we are very much listening to all of your suggestions, to all your recommendations. Kahit criticisms po yan, we are very, very open po sa lahat ng yan. So please reach out to us, comment section, or ayun sa mga social media natin. So, alright. I think, pinahaba ko masyado, no? Pinahintay natin sila ng bonggang-bongga.
Oo
So,
nga.
announce na
Ang
natin
hirap
yung
pumili.
two winners. Ang hirap. Actually, nag-abay lang ako ng time para makapili ako. But I think I've chosen two. So, the first one is for drum rolls. The first one is for Cian Mercado. I think this was a very,
Okay.
very good question for our second guest kanina, no? So Cian Mercado, maraming salamat po. Later we'll be sharing with you kung paano makaklaim yung premyo mo na 100,000 ghost tokens. So yan. Maraming salamat po, Cian Mercado. And then for our
Congrats.
second
Thank you.
winner, thank you po. Isa sa mga pinakabibo na taga-tanong natin tonight. Maraming salamat. And congratulations, Eugene_121. I think 3 or 4 sa mga tanong na yung natanong natin.
Thank
No? So
you.
thank you very much.
Thank you, Eugene.
And same time again and same day next week. Every
Next week,
Wednesday
yeah.
po tayo. Mhm.
We have a special guest.
ayun.
Exciting yan.
Exciting ulit? Yes, of course. Siyempre,
Yep.
hindi naman tayo pipili ng hindi exciting na guests.
Yeah.
Just for you guys, ganun kayo ka-spoiled sa amin. No? So, we have exciting topics and guests, games,
And
even
contest. Prizes.
prizes.
Yep.
Prizes for you guys. So, ayan. Maraming salamat po. Let's say hi sa mga nandito, ha? Sabi ni Sian, comment ko lang po sa Twitter ni ICP Manila. Pwede ba Taglish? Like, not all in Tagalog. Para sa'yo, Sian. Sige. Iyaan na natin. We'll try to add more variety.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Sian. Maraming salamat. Clint, thank you. Ayan. Looking forward to the next stream. Thank you so much. We're also very excited. So, Ape and Crypto, do you have more things that you want to add? Meron ba tayong, you mentioned earlier na meron kayong on-ground activities as well. So can you share
Yeah.
a little bit more about that?
Yeah, sa Friday, sa Naga City, yeah, please check sa Twitter on the hotel that we will be having a Web3 meetup together with
Mm.
Blockchain Space, Philippine Digital Asset Exchange, PDAX, Metagaming
Oh,
Guild,
wow.
yeah, Only, and Spark Point. So, kumbaga, ito lahat yung mga biggest names in crypto right
Mm.
now in the Philippines. And naimbitahan
Mm.
nila tayo to join. More of educational nga siya. So medyo right fit tayo, ICP Manila. So yung mga
Mm.
taga-Naga, taga-Bicol dyan, will be there on Friday and Saturday, most likely the whole weekend na, for the Web3 meetup. And yeah, papadalan ko si Modern Mulan ng Bicol Express.
Yun, kaya lang karating sa akin sa mga hindi pa panis, 'di ba? Pero
Ayun
yeah,
lang.
ayun lang. Pero nakakatuwa na may mga ganito aside sa, online presence, meron din tayo ng physical kasi iba pa rin
Yeah.
yung ganong klase ng ng community. And hopefully we can create something bigger. Sabi ni Palangga, totoo ba 'to Palangga? Walang bawian ha. Sponsor daw siya, 50K ghost token para 3 yung winners.
Wow.
Wow, totoo ba yan
Hmm.
Palangga? Sabi ni
Tatapatan ko
Sian,
kung
when daw Cebu?
soon we have Cebu, Davao, and yeah,
Pampanga? Hopefully?
alam ko
Mhm.
Pampanga meron din if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Pero Modern
Well,
Mulan dapat sumama ka na sa Makati, sa BGC, sa
mm,
mga events kasi marami tayong on-ground events. If you can
I would
join,
love
definitely,
to. I
yeah,
would love
matutuwa
to.
yung mga followers natin.
Maggagawa tayo ng ganap at mag-iingay tayo doon kapag
Yeah,
nagkita-kita tayo for sure. So
this
yan,
Burr
sabi ni
month,
Palangga, yes, lalo na napakaganda ng mga pa-events kapag Burr months. Let me know
yeah,
and kung kaya naman ng time natin, 'di ba? Why not? I would really love to meet you in person finally and yung mga natin, mga kapwa
tama.
ICP, mga ka-ICP natin. So, galante naman ni Palangga. Oo nga. O
Oo
sige
nga,
Palangga, paano ba tayo pipili? Ikaw ba pipili Palangga?
oo nga, pipiliin niya yung sarili niya.
Paano? Oh, sa kanya din pala eh, na fake news tayo. So alright, thank you. Maraming maraming salamat Palangga. Hindi lang pala dalawa ang winners natin, no? Tatlo. So we have 50K ghost tokens from Palangga. Thank you Palangga. Paano tayo pipili?
Tatapatan ko na yung kay Palangga na 50K, so to make it 100K, I'll add another 50K.
Wow, grabe naman
Yeah.
po. So tatlong winners. Paano gagawin natin? Tatlong winners or apat? 50-50 yung
No. Ikaw, what do you think?
Grabe, ang pressure naman. Siguro para masaya, para masaya, 4 winners tayo. Yeah, share
Okay,
the
good.
love. 4
Tama.
winners para ma-maximize. Tayo daw pipili. O sige.
Pag nag
Sino ba
$1 yan,
yung
$50,000 yan.
piliin natin yung mga nandito pa? Siyempre, yung mga nag-stay hanggang start to
Tama,
end,
oo
sila yung
nga, oo
pipiliin
nga.
natin. Yeah. So si Palangga din yung winner, charot.
Di Palangga din yun.
Biro lang. I think yung mga deserve talaga, yung mga kanina pa nandito, si Spitfire tsaka si Kurisu,
Yeah.
I see. Spitfire and si Kurisu, thank you very much po. Ayan.
Wait, nanalo na
Naku,
si Kurisu, di ba?
ay nanalo ba si Kurisu?
Hindi pa pala. Eugene
Hindi,
pala yan, sorry.
si Eugene yun.
Oo nga,
Ayun.
tama,
So
tama. Kurisu.
maybe sa next, si Kurisu na yung mananalo. Thank you very much po. Don't worry, dahil napakarami pa nating episodes at napakarami natin for giveaways. So kung hindi kayo
Yep.
nanalo this time, panalo pa rin kayo kasi yung mga knowledge natin.
Malay
Imagine,
mo,
iilan lang
Bitcoin pa
tayo
next
na may
time.
alam ng ganito. Ako na yung sasali. Kapag Bitcoin ang pinamimigay, hindi na po ako mag-host at hindi na ako
Di ba?
nagsasalita, nasa dulo na ako, yung mga dummy accounts ko talaga ay inaano ko na. Anyway, Ape and Crypto, and to all our viewers, again, whether you're watching this live or through our replay, thank you very much for watching our episode 2 where we talked about BTC and ICP integration and Cubetopia. Maraming salamat po. And we look forward po sa mga topics na gusto nyo ma-cover natin and even yung mga guests na gusto nyo ma-invite natin. Hopefully, see you soon in real life. Mag-set tayo ng live siguro na episode. No, I think that would
With
also be
Joey
very,
and
very
Andrew.
interesting.
They committed.
Yes, with our guests kanina. Wala, naka-video na yun, wala nang atrasan, no?
Yeah, perpetual na yan.
All right. So, for our winners pala, how are they gonna get yung ano? Same
Yeah,
lang ba? They're gonna tweet sa.
yeah, DM
Mhm.
sa Twitter, and then I'll send
All
it to
right.
them. Give us 48 hours lang kung okay lang.
Yes. Naku, okay lang yun, no? I mean, nanalo ka na, di ba? What's
Oo nga.
48 hours?
Yeah.
Again, thank you very much. See you soon. See you next week. Sana yung makapag-invite din kayo ng friends ninyo. And kahit natapos na tong
Yes.
live stream natin, please also share it sa family and friends. So, yun yung assignment natin, 3 people each. Ma-introduce natin ng ICP sa kanila. Thank you, Sian
Yes.
Mercado, Kurisu Palanga, Eugene, thank you, and congratulations to our winners. Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you, Modern
Bye.
Mulan. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.